Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt nothing? Not pride, not joy, just emptiness. You see your face, but it feels like someone else's. This is the story of a man who gave everything to look perfect but forgot to be real. His name was Ethan, a man everyone loved, polite, generous, successful. He smiled at everyone, said the right things, wore the right clothes. To the world he was perfect. But behind that smile lived a quiet sadness, a feeling he never understood. Every morning he stood before the mirror, adjusting his tie, practicing his smile. He didn't look at himself, he looked at who others wanted him to be. His whole life was a performance, one where applause mattered more than peace. He didn't live, he pleased. One rainy evening, while walking home from work, Ethan noticed a small antique shop he had never seen before. Its window was fogged, and in the corner stood a strange, old mirror. Something about it drew him in, a soft glow, almost alive. He asked the old shopkeeper, "Does this mirror work? It looks different." The old man smiled. "Oh, it works, but it doesn't show faces. It shows truth." Ethan laughed. "Truth? What do you mean?" "You'll see," the old man replied, his eyes holding something Ethan didn't understand. That night, Ethan placed the mirror in his room. He stood before it expecting to see himself, but what he saw made his heart stop. It wasn't his reflection. It was a tired man, eyes dull, his smile fading into pain. His suit was still there, but his heart empty. Ethan stepped back. He rubbed his eyes, but the image didn't change. The mirror showed the truth he'd been hiding, the loneliness he'd buried under perfection, the exhaustion behind every smile. For the first time, Ethan saw himself, not as the world saw him, but as he really was. Days passed. Ethan couldn't stop looking into the mirror. Each night he saw more: a child who wanted love, a man afraid of rejection, a soul screaming to be seen. The mirror never lied. It didn't flatter him, didn't applaud him, it simply reflected truth. And truth, when you've lived a lie for too long, hurts like fire. One night Ethan shouted at the mirror, "Why are you showing me this? I don't want to see it." The mirror stayed silent, but in its silence was a message. Until you accept what you see, you can never heal. The next morning something changed. Ethan didn't rush to impress anyone. He sat by his window, feeling the morning light on his face. He hadn't done that in years. He realized he had spent his whole life chasing approval, yet never once asked, "Do I approve of myself?" He apologized to the man in the mirror, not for being imperfect, but for pretending to be someone else. And as he whispered, "I forgive you," the mirror's image softened. For the first time, it showed him smiling, not for the world but for himself. Weeks later, Ethan returned to the antique shop to thank the old man, but the shop was gone. The place where it stood was an empty lot. He never found it again. But he didn't need to, because the real mirror now lived inside him. He no longer needed applause to feel alive. He no longer feared being real. He learned something most people never do. The mirror can lie to the world, but it can never lie to the soul. Maybe you too have been living for others. Maybe your smile has become a mask. Maybe your reflection feels like a stranger. If so, don't look away. Stand before your own truth. Because healing begins the moment you stop performing and start being honest with yourself. Remember, the mirror never lied. It only waited for you to see. If this story touched your heart, take a moment, look in your mirror tonight and say, "I'm enough." Because you are, always have been, always will be. And if you want more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe, because some truths are meant to be felt.